So we've been doing a lot of testing with the EXP World. And have you ever been in EXP World at
I've
all?
seen it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll get you an invite to there actually, where if you haven't been in there to run around and stuff, I'll get you so
It's
you can
fun, huh?
go in there. But we've um we've been working with them a lot, and they're going to start offering team rooms. We offer that in the Verbella platform already. So
Hmm.
EXP's run it was developed by Verbella. We acquired Verbella last year. But what we've been doing in there is we've been taking a team room, and we actually have it's a big open space, and then there's a bunch of private areas in there with screens that you can go and have a private chat. Then we have 16 private offices in that space. So along the walls, there's just an office, and there's a desk and a screen. And what we've been doing, we'll have our morning huddles in there. So
Nice.
I have a team of 15. We all meet in there, and we are now meeting in the cloud-based environment. Some of us can meet on mobile, we can meet on desktop, but we're all getting in there. We uh, we are becoming closer in a cloud-based environment, which is really cool. So
Huh.
I run a hybrid where we do have a brick and mortar for my team, but we meet 15 minutes in there. And then after the meeting, what we do is we used to have everybody come into the office, and then what do we do? They all go into the bullpen and start making calls.
Right.
Now what the agents do is they actually go into the private office. So they can go into the private office. They take their screen, they screen share their CRM up on the wall, and we can now go and train people in there. So we can listen in on, they open their mic, we listen into their calls. We'll train them. And what's
Wow.
really cool is the agents, they're at home. So we're actually hearing what they sound like at home and not in the office, because they forget they're in the office.
Right.
So we have this whole new platform that we're doing this. And now when we started our admin, today's our first day without our admin. Um, we started looking at this virtual option. We
Yeah.
said, well, we can start putting virtual assistants and TCs in this office. They can be screen sharing. We can go in there. We know where one another are.
Yeah.
We can talk at any time. So it's a really interesting thing for you guys, where, man, we have everybody's meeting in here, and we can work without barriers of location anymore. And
You know, I'm glad that Chuck put us together. I'm very curious about how, like, we use this platform, Ring Central or Zoom, to do the majority of our meetings, and I'd love to have like a virtual spot for everybody to kind of meet at and like interact.
yeah.
We've never found a software that does a better job than this, right?
Mhm. No, and I Zooms are great. We still do use Zooms, but what I find with the meetings, that when we virtually get 100% attendance every day in our
Wow.
meeting.
Wow.
And it's because people don't have to put their face on there. They're showing up as an avatar. I got one girl every morning, she'll participate in the meeting, but I'll hear the treadmill running underneath her. You
Uh-huh.
know what? She's participating. She's showed up to the meeting. She's contributing to the meeting. I don't care where they are. I don't have to do my hair, but
It's I love you use that joke often, right?
every now and again.
It's interesting because what you're saying is this virtual world is a way for you to have oversight and coaching to your 1099 sales folks in a
Absolutely.
way that wasn't possible with a brick and mortar, because there was this barrier of driving, intention, time. People didn't want to show up, but in this, they just show up because it's very easy.
Yeah, 100%. We've been using EXP World I've been with EXP now for a year and a half, and we've been a little bit of power users with it. But until we started getting into the, team meeting and them saying, okay, well, you guys can use this office, all morning, where we start breaking people up, that we actually really saw the power of it. And we started using it. We're like, oh, wow, this really has something here.
Right.
You can see where the office space in the future, where maybe shared offices are becoming much more common, because you might not need a dedicated office when you don't have the brick and mortar expenses. if you need a brick and mortar, maybe you don't need as big of one. So we're
Right.
running now, where we might have had to have 3,000 square feet, we're running in 900.
Yeah.
So it really, it brings everything down where you don't have your brick and mortar costs, with you don't have electricity, you don't have internet, you don't have any of these things. Everybody's bringing that themselves now.
Who's just out of curiosity, who still uses the office on a regular basis?
Our team members do come in here. We do have a lender, so a lender is pitches into the office expense, and then we've had our admin was using it every day. I use it every day, so I kind of look at it. For me, I don't need to buy a bigger house, because me and my wife we're a husband-wife team. So the two of us at home together, it'd be we need another room. So and then the team members, they'll land in here on Fridays. We do have everybody comes together on Fridays at the office. We do have an in-person meeting, so we have one once a week. But
what do you do in your in-person meeting?
We have an agenda. We'll go over anything that our 15-minute huddles are more about what's happened in the last 24 hours. Any questions, triumphs, failures. We like to fail forward. Anything that's happened where everybody can learn instead of having. I have 20 years of experience in real estate, but in that room we have 110 years of experience. So. Right. A lot of times questions will be asked and I'll just be quiet and let the team work it out themselves, and they learn from one another, and I'll learn from them because somebody else will have a different opinion on something sometimes, and you say, oh wow, that's cool, I never thought of that. Yeah. So it just becomes so much more collaboration. On Fridays it's more of a formal, we'll have sometimes we'll have a guest come in, but it's more we'll talk about our core values, but it's more of a formal meeting.
Got it. And your job in that meeting is to add value to their practice in some way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying to indoctrinate them into how you see your business and what they need to be doing to make more money, as well as adding value to who they are as a person.
100%.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm just I know that EXP has this platform, but I've never. And there are some teams that use it for training and being a part of other things and big announcements. But I've never really met anybody who's consistently using it on a daily basis to replace the office. So that was that's why.
It's really cool, and the training is neat too, because even if we're doing, I've done a bunch of, I just took my post licensing online, and it's horrible, so I'll get so many people like, I can't take classes online. But when we do classes online, I've taught classes where I've had 300 people in the class in there. And if somebody has a question, they raise their hand, and it alerts me that they raise their hand, and it becomes like you're in the classroom. There's really not much difference because you have that interaction with the teacher.
Right.
It's just not a recording.
What classes do you train typically?
We do a lot of lead conversion. Renee does, she does what we call lead review roundtable. She was Disney trained with, how to speak to people, and she's kind of a wordsmith.
That's nice.
And then we'll do, we do have a full-time coach on our team, so she'll do a lot of her classes online too, whether it's killer open houses or just we have a ton of classes that we'll teach online.
Your full-time coach, is it a productivity coach kind of scenario?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So are you an old KW guy or?
Nope. She's actually a KW, but I was Realty Executives for 10 years.
Right.
I was independent for a year, and when I first started, when I was part-time, I was Century 21.
There you go, man. That's cool. And you guys just hired your first virtual admin.
We are waiting to hire our first virtual admin. We've you guys have been a little short on them. We do need somebody with some experience because we are coming in, I got a team of 15 here. So I don't need, I need somebody that has a grasp what needs to be done. So far, the people that have been put in front of us have been more probably ISA material, which has also opened us up to, okay, let's, where we were looking to come with you guys probably for one hire. Now we're, after we get this admin, then I probably might have, 2 to 3 more hires.
Gotcha.
With you guys. So
what platforms are you on for your TC work and your listing coordination stuff?
we're using SkySlope, and our CRM, we're using Follow Up Boss.
How are you doing all of your listing coordination? Is it just checklist kind of situations?
It's checklists through Follow Up Boss.
Okay.
So it's all action plan based.
Yeah. Okay. Are you open to a little bit of feedback?
Yeah, absolutely. Always.
So I personally have been doing this 12 years, 5,000 clients, serve everyone in the real estate space. When you want somebody of experience, what you're really saying is, I don't have time to train them. Is that what you're really saying?
Well, we have some time to train. Yeah, I mean, time's always the biggest challenge.
Yes.
100%. So time's our biggest challenge. We do have time to train them. I would like somebody that has a little bit of a grasp, that has some knowledge, has a little bit of knowledge. I know that they're probably not going to be up with, exactly how we do it with SkySlope and Follow Up Boss. So I understand that portion that we were going to need to train, but I would like somebody that has a grasp on the job.
Yep, I understand. The reason I say is because there's 2 things. We have folks that have experience, but they've typically been released from another team. And you have a great admin, as you know, I'm a real estate broker. We're both in that same whole world, right? Yeah. When you have a great admin, you do anything you can to keep hold of them.
Sure.
They're amazing. So every once in a while, we have one that's released who is amazing, but I'd say it happens once a quarter to one person. And last month we had 95 people come in the door. So the odds of you finding somebody who would kind of be an amazing admin that already has previous experience just with our platform it's just low.
Hard. Yeah.
Yep. Because what's more likely is you get somebody who wasn't trained properly by the previous client, or they didn't have a good system in place. Like Follow Up Boss by far and large is the best following up system. ISA. I mean, it just is. It's one of the best. And then SkySlope, in my opinion, is the best transaction coordination platform. But you have a lot of brokers who are doing a lot of deals who still use Excel spreadsheets, or they don't have a system for it. So we have some admins that'll go through a client and they don't have a system set up and they fail. And we might have that person available. But the challenge is, once again, it's like they had a bad coach and they come to you, and now they have a good coach, but the difference isn't really that huge. Does that, I don't know if that helps.
I understand. I get it. I totally understand. And I kind of also figure that it might be hard to get somebody with experience. I understand people don't want to let go of those people if they're good.
What we do is we have experience. So this isn't me selling you, because you're already a client and it's fine. I just want to serve, to be honest. But what we do is, when we hire an admin people, we look for other experience that is very typical or similar to a transaction coordinator. So for instance, like Wells Fargo's in the Philippines, which is kind of, and Wells Fargo, and and there's a ton of other banks, corporations, DirecTV, they're all over there, right? And they all have this position called an operations manager, or a project manager, or like an operations team member. And we typically pull our admins from that group and then we put them in front of you guys. Are you not getting those kind of candidates?
We, the first day that we interviewed 3 people, and what happened that day is they sent us, they basically, she came out and said, oh, I really sent you ISA people by accident. So the end of last week, there were 2 other people, but we were at EXP had our shareholders last week, so it was one of the 2 weeks where I was just out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we sent you the wrong candidates
And
in.
that's the wrong candidates the first time. And it was people that were, really ISA focused.
Okay, so you haven't even seen 3 to 5 people so far with the admin side.
No.
Okay, beautiful. I love fixing problems for our clients. I really can't
Thank you.
wait because I did not see that note in your account, which means, it's a hole in our process that we need to go back to.
Yeah.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what they sent them. They say, oh, we looked at them and we didn't have that many. So the people that were sent over were really more ISA. And look, it opened us up to doing the ISA. We've run an ISA model here before.
Mhm.
Right now we have and I would probably say not so much an ISA. We wouldn't do an ISA rather than an FCA type thing. First call agent, get them in touch. Okay, let's put them over to an agent. I find the ISA model, you end up getting a lot of agents that are waiting for you to draft them checks.
Right. You called that an FCA? What?
First call agent. Yeah.
First call agent. And tell me more about that. I've never heard that
Never
before.
heard of that.
Uh,
No, I mean, we used to do an inside sales agent, the ISA, where
yeah.
the ISA was, nurturing the lead. The agent was calling, or supposed to be calling every now and again and keeping, so it was both the ISA and the agent talking to the person. But what we found was that the agents just relied too much on the ISA. And when it came time for the customers to come down, now we're in Florida, so we have everybody's coming from somewhere else most of the time.
Yep.
And the customer would get down here and they would say, well, what do you mean I'm not going out with Diane? I've been talking to Diane on the phone for 6 months. I want to go out with Diane. And
Right.
they want to go out with the agent. So we modified it to where we call it an FCA, first call agent, where the leads come in, there's an action plan, and the person's basically, the caller is going off that action plan and just making initial contact with the person, deciding who fits best on our team, because we do have, specific areas, or maybe one's luxury, maybe one's a vacation rental. So then they are placing them with the right agent.
Nice.
And then it's the agent's responsibility to stay in touch with them at that point. So we took all all that, getting that 35% of the bad phone numbers out of there, where they're really concentrating with somebody that we've had a conversation with. We know there's a real live person there. Here, go.
Are you uncovering time frame and motivation with the FCA?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the FCA on Follow Up Boss, we have a left-hand side of the column there on the main screen, and it's going to go, pretty much everything: best time to contact, pricing, where you're looking, financing, if they're approved, if they're not pre-approved, their property status currently, they own, they need to sell, they're renting, what they're looking for, single family home, townhome, vacation rental, bedrooms, baths, spouse names, kids names, just anything that they can get during that time, so we can continue the conversation, because that is the conversation.
Yeah, you're finding out why they are talking to you and what they need.
Yeah. And trying to build a relationship. I think we are moving towards a total relationship business with the iBuyers coming out here. That's going to be our big things, is relationships over the next 5 years.
So right now in your model, the FCA is just the agent, and the agent may take somebody and then place them with another agent based on location or type, or how does that?
Right. Yeah. Right now we have the agents are actually signing up for virtual call time. So we have 3 shifts during the day. They'll sign in. They'll work the whatever tasks are there, and whatever new leads come in, we're hoping to get that 2-minute response time, if not faster. But then if they have a conversation with somebody and it's a vacation home lead and they don't do vacation homes, and they will give it to it. They will tell, put it in the group chat in Workplace. who's looking for a vacation leave.
Cool. And you guys are using Workplace to kind of as
Workplace is awesome.
yeah, I love it. You're a fully virtual company.
And having the office, over the last year, you start seeing, is it that necessary? No, it really changes things.
Hmm.
Like I said, I like having a place to come to, and you're always going to have things like that. The agents like, having a place to come to, but it's a lot smaller than it used to be.
Yeah. What do you think stops you from just cutting the cord and saving about $150,000 a year off your P&L?
It's not really costing us that much. But
Because of your
like
lending.
I said, we're doing, we're 1,000 square feet over here. It's, we have a lender kind of helping us out with some of the rent, and it really doesn't cost all that much. I think for the team, they do like having a place. They like having a place where we can get together, that they can sometimes get out of the house and have a place to crash. I think over time, you're going to have to start looking at things and start saying, okay, let's look at the resources that we have. I had to have a meeting on the other side of town a couple weeks ago, and we have a Regis membership. There were no Regises over there. I called the title company. Hey, can I have an office for an hour? No problem. Never worked with the title company before, but they're always out to, they're not going to say no.
Right.
So it's really easy. So you can start looking at the different things that you have, your title companies, your lenders, where can you meet people, rather than having to be in an office.
Yeah, but let me okay, so let's say you're spending 50 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
What if you put that into Google seller lead listings?
Absolutely.
And then told your agents that you would round robin those.
It's a possibility. I mean, right now we have another year and a half on our contract, and we'll be monitoring, on our lease right now, and we'll be monitoring it. So it's not out of the question. What we want to start doing, though, in the meantime, is we're going to start, with EXP, we don't have the geographical, we can build anywhere. So we can build teams in different states and manage them in the world. So yes, we'll be building teams in other spots and not having physical offices there.
Yeah, I just wonder. It's funny. I'm pretending because we have a 6,000 square foot office, and I actually love coming into the office. Like
I like coming in the office too.
I love it. Like I don't want to work from home. I can't do that, and like I just can't. I've done it in the past, so I'm asking you all these questions to really question my own beliefs. Just so we're clear.
I worked at home for years, and really only the last 5 years have I been coming to an office. So it's a little different for me. I like getting out of the house. I do like getting out of the house, but I can work from at home too. There's days if I just want to work from home, my team knows that they can come in EXP World and Team Room 4, and I'm in there. And they can find me there.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how the people go to where you are. So we did downsize offices, real estate offices, a lot smaller now than it used to be.
Yep.
So.
What you had mentioned that you'd want to give us an introduction to the EXP world.
Yeah.
What does that look like from your perspective?
I just send you a link, and you can go in there. Once you get the link, you can go in there. You make an avatar. You can walk around, talk to people. You can attend a class. You can do anything. You really have no limits. You can go in EXP World, and even Glenn Sanford, our CEO, he says, "Look, if my office door is open, crash my meeting. Come in there, talk to me," and you can really see a little bit of the culture in there. And we just did this shareholders summit last week, and
how was that?
It was awesome. And we held X Camp there, which is basically an RE bar camp. So
Yep.
we, Renee and I led X Camp and it's one of the greatest things because you see all the collaboration of the EXP agents
Mhm.
and how once they become owners, how this sharing goes on. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. People will give you their whole, whatever you want. Glenn in Workplace a couple months ago came out and said, "Hey, everybody, I want you to post your listing presentations online, and I'll give the winner $5,000."
Oh, wow.
Well, he probably had, at least, I don't know, probably 100 listing presentations popped up. And I'm not talking, crap. We're talking, stuff that's people spent thousands of dollars to put together.
Right.
And they just put it out there. Here it is. Use it. Take from what I have. We look at business a totally different way.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
What is your vision for the future of your real estate company? Like if you told me like if we met again in 5 years, what would have to happen for you to say, "Oh my God, it's been an amazing ride"?
Yeah. Well, last year when we came over to EXP, we were a $22 million team. In
Mhm.
1 year, we doubled to 50 million. And a lot of it is the systems, the processes we had. We won the number 2 team at EXP for our size. So we were
Right.
number 2 team in the country, which being in Orlando, we don't have that, huge price point that you guys have out in California.
Right. Well,
So
I'm in Sacramento, so our price points are
it's
actually
a little
about
lower.
yeah, yeah. We're around 300, mid threes for our average price here.
Yeah, that's about where we are here.
Exactly. We have a
So,
very similar market.
yeah. So, we came back from there and we really started looking at every process that we were doing. We knew what we did, how the EXP, the tools and everything helped us get from 20 to 50, but we knew we weren't going to get to 500 doing the
Yeah.
same things.
Right.
So I've really, this year has been we want to keep it at 50 for the year, but we're
Hmm.
going to change everything.
Yeah.
And we came back, we've looked at every single process that we've done, even doing, what you've asked about the training with with doing the virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Time, yes, time's always the biggest factor. But
Yes.
what we were looking at doing on that is during this training, just doing screencasts.
Yep.
you know Here's the video recording, this is how we do it, this is how we do that, and really building everything up to a tangible business where we can
Yep.
get, we weren't looking at how do we get from 50 to 75, it's how do we get 50 to 500.
Right.
So that's in 5 years. Yes, I'd like to be across multiple states in the 500 GCI mark, or
Yep.
I'm sorry, in the 500 million
Volume. Yeah, I
volume.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you just nailed how we call it a virtual playbook, and I wonder if we would build that inside of EXP World so that you never have to do that again. Is there a way for like audio to be uploaded and for people to go through a module, like a training?
Well, we've been doing it like we're using ScreenFlow right now.
Right?
So we're doing something in EXP World that we want to record. We're just doing the ScreenFlow in there. So we can record all that. We can, we can do it with a Zoom meeting. We can, we can pretty much do yes. The answer is yes.
But can you make I don't know, the Funk team, I don't know your team name, like admin training class?
Yes, we can make we can do classes. We can do anything. I mean, we can take those classes and we can stream them into a private group in Workplace. So if in case somebody isn't able to get on an EXP World, if they have access to our Workplace group, we can put it right over there.
Yep, you have everything you need, actually.
Everything
You
we
know,
need.
I think my interest in working with you would be to develop the training, and I don't know if you're game for this, but what I would like to do is develop kind of, because SkySlope has their own kind of like internal training platform as well as Follow Up Boss, so you can get all of their training, kind of built.
Yep.
And what I like to do is just I'm a Google Doc easy guy, right? So you can
Yeah.
just throw like the first training on SkySlope, how to use it, and then how to create what do they call it? I forget what they call it, but how to create a file basically, you know, and then you just kind of list out all of their already available training, because they have, you know, a training team.
We're doing that with our onboarding for when people come on our team. We have a Google spreadsheet Google Sheets, and we're doing that. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, and they're going to have product updates, and I don't want to have to go back and do it. They can do it for us. So yes, we're utilizing that stuff. Any resource that's already there for us, I don't want to redo.
Well, and I think if you give them a login and then you give them a link that directs them back to the SkySlope thing, then now they have a step-by-step already existing kind of process. And then it's just a matter of these are the tweaks about how we do it here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great to meet you guys both.
This has been awesome.
All right.
Thanks, I'll talk to you soon.